Na, üdvözlök mindenkit, én Excel vagyok, és ez itt a The Outer Worlds, ami tegnap pénteken, október 25-én jelent meg. És most ezzel a játékkal fogok szépen játszani, azaz próbálom majd végigjátszani. És egy-két fontos dolog a játékról az, hogy az egyik majdnem kedvenc stúdión készítette ezt a játékot, akik híresek lehetnek más RPG játékokról, mint például a Fallout New Vegas, vagy annyira nem ismerő volt a Tyranny, meg ilyesmi. Ők az Obsidian stúdió, és ők készítették ezt a gyönyörűséges játékot, amit volt egy kis időm kipróbálni. És most kicsit játszottam vele, szerintem rohadt jó maga a játék, de akkor most egy újat fogok kezdeni. És normál fogok játszani.
Why stay earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the stars? Come to Halcyon, the only colony on the edge of the frontier, owned and operated by corporations. A trip of 10 short years will feel like mere minutes, thanks to the comfort and safety of your very own hibernation chamber. You'll wake up in a perfect society designed to maximize your productivity with guaranteed full employment. With only a minor term of service, you will become the master of your own destiny when you go out of this world to the Halcyon colony.
Hundreds of thousands of colonists left adrift out here forever, just to keep from damaging the board's bottom line. Disgraceful.
Igen, szóval magának a játékra lényeg történetileg, hogy kolonizálók vagyunk, és különösebben a világot, az egész galaxist cégek uralják. És még nem tudom, mi a feladatunk, de most akkor ezt is létrehozzuk azt a kolonizálót, akivel mi fogunk játszani. Általában olyan karizmatikus emberrel szoktam játszani, egy karakterrel, nem az erőre is, ilyen okos is, valamennyire jó karizmára jelöljem. Ezek különböző statokat is növelnek, ugyebár. Most ennek dexterity is, azzal gyorsabban fogunk támadni. Jó van, akkor. És ugyanúgy a dialógusokra, ez jól fog jönni. És vagy távolságira, vagy késre kéne, közelharcra kéne specializálódni. Gyere, legyen távolság. Jó, hogy beállt ja, háttértörténetünket, így mi voltunk, az is különböző pontokat adnak. Ha rámegyünk teljesen alapra, akkor most ez elég lesz. Akkor megcsináljuk a teljesen casual, általam alapokból alig változtatott valamit. Jó. És akkor legyen Excel. Oké, mindenki száll.
Looks to be your lucky day, my friend.
Please power down your engines and prepare to be...
Not likely, bootlickers. Initiate skip jump.
Status. Structural integrity down 25%. Power levels down to 90%. Skip drive.
Shit.
inoperable.
Ah, there you are. Wondering what's going on, eh? Bit of bad news there, I'm afraid. Your colony ship was inexplicably knocked out of skip space and forced to complete its journey at sublight speeds. This means that you and every other colonist on the Hope have been in suspended animation for 70 years, give or take. Normally, reviving someone after so long leads to some quite horrifying results. It's called explosive cell death, but it's really more of a liquefaction. Something wrong? Oh, yes, well, not to worry. I've pumped your body full of a special concoction I devised to keep you from dying so horrifically. Hopefully at all, but I guess we'll see, yes? Unfortunately, I used the last of my chemical supplies saving you. I know it's a lot to ask, but I must have your help securing more if we're to save the rest of your fellow colonists. I'd see it done myself, of course, but the board has a sizable bounty on my head. Now, my ship is inoperative, but I've managed to hire a smuggler to help you out. He'll be... Oh, I see we're in position. Good luck!
Ma megint?
Can you hear me? Is this thing working? Ah, there you are. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, the smuggler. His name is Hawthorne, and he should be waiting for you at the landing site. He's to be your chauffeur, so to speak. Not to worry. I'm told he's a specialist. Dashing gunslinger, one-of-a-kind ship, that sort of thing. You'll like him, I'm sure. I've also outfitted
Ja,
you with
nagyon
a
szeretni
simple
fogjuk
wireless
Hawthorne-ot.
monitor, so I can track your progress. I'll check in with you as soon as you land. Good luck. All the colonists are counting on you.
Oké, szóval valamilyen szert meg kell szereznünk. Na, gyönyörű. Végre feltértünk.
Should be close by. What's his name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding
Remek,
it.
szóval...
Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste.
Itt volt a segítség. Oké, remek.
Hawthorne won't mind you taking his ship. You lend the board, huh? Not sure I trusted the fellow. Might have gone after the bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go.
Oké, cool. Akkor lopjuk el a hajóját. Vagy ellopni. Úgy... Már életben szóval tök mindegy. Wow. Mindig ott az érzés, így teljesen mint egy valót játékkal játszani, nem tudom, olyan valahogy... Valahogy így maga így a... Valami, nem tudom, olyan... És nehéz koncentrálni. Kis sárkányizék. Még egy hulla. Tökéletes. Oh. Oké, szóval rá sneakezni is. Ja. Okay.
Easy now. You've been frozen for a while. There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
Szóval mellékhatás jönnek az, hogy 70 évre voltunk fagyasztva. Remek. Áú. Tupuzással híleljük magunkat.
Hey, you, come here. You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, law, that stings.
Mi
We
történt
were out on
veled?
patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my
Szerencsétlen
life.
oldalba lőtte
Crawled in
magát.
here and
Hogy
blocked
lőtte
off the
oldalba
exit with
magát?
those canisters.
Nem mindegy, gyögyjük meg.
Look, hope you don't mind me omitting this little exchange from my report. Spacer's choice doesn't. Gibbering, flesh-eating, law-breaking, unemployed lunatics with guns. Some hullhead grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh?
Amit inkább adod a fegyveredet, megöljük a
You look
maraudereket.
like you know your way around a
Tökéletes.
gun. Got some spare ammo. Here, you can have my saber. All Spacer's Choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Space. Yes, nailed it that time. You hit your head or something? You're in Emerald Vale. We're a Spacer's Choice community. Edgewater's a little ways down. Prettiest place in the Vale. Be sure to stop by a provisioner's for a can of our famous salt tuna.
Nem, ide menjünk. És közben lootolunk is. Bennem lévő kleptomániás a falót után megszorolt. Mindent viszünk. Székek. Oké, kicsit álljunk távolabb.
Damage my ears! Oh, what just happened? Can you hear me? What in the hell is...
Oké, megint lefagytunk. Electrical time duration. Oké, szóval... így építették bele a Watsot a falatból a Otherworlds-be. Mondjuk ez nem is rossz megoldás, ez olyan kellemesebb is használni olyan. Még falatban sose használtam a Watsot, itt pedig olyan... ez praktikusnak tűnik. Könnyen megmenteti az életemet. Nézzük, mindent viszünk, oké. Várjunk. Inventory. Na igen, ezt is nézegettem már egy kicsit. Akkor 4 fegyver lehet nálunk, ugyebár. Akkor olyan. Ez a pisztoly. És felveszik a kardot is, tökéletes. Az a baj, hogy láttam ilyen stealth-es damage nincsen, mert ilyen hátulról meg te mondjuk nem vettek észre, akkor ilyen bónus sebzés kap. Jep, de nem vették észre. Tökéletes. És még a fegyveremet is
Get
ellátom,
over
nem?
here before you get yourself killed. Don't know where you came from, stranger, but you best keep your head down. There's marauders hereabouts, and worse, landing violators. Gall on that rung leech. Landing in the Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing pad. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these marauders shambling about. Really? How is he? Of course I am. I'm a superior officer. Stands to reason, don't it? Just you watch. I'll cross these marauders off with a swift, cost-efficient fury that's made Spacer's Choice the most trusted brand, and I just, you know, need a couple of winks to... Well, sometimes. You know what? You're right. It's time we cross those marauders off, find whoever owns that ship, and file a full report.
Here we go.
Na, legalább segítség van.
What's that?
Fine bonus.
I just earned a fine bonus.
Na, itt a jövőbeli hajónk. Oké.
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder.
Oké, köszi. Jó tudni. A megbízhatatlan. Ha.
Unauthorized access of spacefaring vessels is a crime. Please submit yourself to the authorities. Hello, Marauder. I am Ada, the Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction. Gesture procedures initiated. Disengaging airlocks. Preparing to eject all boarded parties in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express... I am incapable of accepting orders from... I understand. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders... Well done, Captain Hawthorne. I see your powers of deductive reasoning remain intact. Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable.
Na,
Our
persze,
main
miért
drive
működne?
suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be astutely observed. However, the probability of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement falls. High-capacity power regulators are sometimes employed in the electrical networks of worker settlements. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new captain's identity cartridge. Please try not to lose it this time. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you understand? Best of luck in your search for a power regulator.
Egyelőre növeljük, vagyis... Egyelőre növeljük a... tetünket.
If your equipment is in need of repair or modification,
Cool.
I suppose everything on the...
A shotgun, oké? Ezt Kéne javítani. Nincsen annyi cuccunk. Hogy várjunk ezt. Törjük. Akkor ezt megjavítsuk.
Unreliable
Oké.
belongs
Na,
to
van
you
shotgun.
now, Captain. Help
Tökéletes.
yourself. No, really.
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, mister, you...
Felmen, hazudjunk.
Oh, by the law. I'm so sorry.
Ellenőrök
I had no
vagyunk.
idea we had an inspector coming. If you'd like to speak with my manager, I report to Constable Rick. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect...
Oké. Akkor menjünk Edgewaterbe. Ó, térkép, remek. Akkor menjünk erre. Gyönyörű. Imádom ezt a játékot, ez... Nem egyik a pisztolyt, ezt lebontjuk majd. Ups. Olyan azt mondják, hogy a trailerből látva ez a játék egyáltalán nem szép. Szerintem ez így magában egy látvány. Na, remek egy temető.
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from? Don't go ambling out in those hills. That's marauder territory. Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want none of that on you. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family. Definitely not the junior in... If you've got business inquiries, you should stop by Reed Thompson's office. He's up in the tower above the cannery. Head into town, follow the... Look, you obviously ain't a worker. Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. That includes the cemetery. None of us own our grave sites, we rent them from the company.
Igen, szóval minden az egész város minden a cégé.
Paperwork means signatures. Some of our families become a mite delinquent in paying their due.
És hogyha valaki meghal, akkor még azért is fizetnek. Hát akkor adósokat kell begyűjtenünk.
Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig, and Martin Abernathy. He just is. Look. Conrad's got a barbershop in town. Phyllis works at the cannery most hours. Abernathy... I ain't seen him in a... You'll find him in town. All except Ludwig, that...
Okay. Jó, kicsit fogyoskodik. Na szóval, itt is van a fodrász.
Please don't touch anything. Your hands are probably crawling with germs. Physical hygiene recapitulates moral hygiene. Cleanliness is next to lawfulness. We don't believe in free anything here in Edgewater. We're a Spacer's Choice company. I'm Conrad. You will report to me if your hair fails to... You will also report to me in the event of your death, whereupon I will clean and prepare your remains for interment. Ah, gravesite fees. Silas and I had talked about this at length. I thought I'd made it clear my pecuniary situation. As broke as pie crust, friend. Bidless, indigent, destitute. I simply cannot afford it. I am a blemish on the prosperity of our fair settlement. When I expire, I expect Thank you, no. I despise the cereals. Tell Silas I can't Some time ago, frankly, I don't imagine I'll earn that right a second time. The barber work hasn't been profitable, you see. I've had to... Not a bad idea. But your idea intrigues me, but I'm afraid I don't have... Much...
Oké, szóval nincs pénz, cserébe valamit adnia kell. Talán itt van valami. Na jó, itt nem biztos, hogy van valami. Egyelőre elmegyünk innen.
You're safer inside the walls.
Kell tennie valakinek. Na, itt a következő adós.
You the new worker? Whatever. Make it quick, Tenderfoot. I'm busy. Foreman Granger, mind those words don't come out of your mouth unless preceded by yes or right away or... Shit. Silas still on about that? Here, take the fees. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Reed I was late on my payment. Because they're not my fees and not my gravesite. Guy I worked with shot himself. I paid the bill. If you're not familiar with board law, law requires delinquent gravesite fees to be paid by the deceased party's closest living relative, which meant me. Shame, though. You woke up one morning and put a round through his upper story. Can't imagine why. The kid was doing all right at his desk. We all thought he was an upstanding receptionist. Just between the two of us, I'm pretty shocked his weapon didn't misfire. Spacer's Choice handguns aren't the most reliable. Eugene wasn't family. Yeah, I was the closest living person relative to his body at time of death. I'm the one who found him, you see, so I pay the fines. Suicide's a crime. The legal term is irreparable damage to company property. What Eugene did to himself was
Nagyon az emberek is a cég tulajdona. Remek.
I'm plenty serious. In fact, I'm a little upset In other words, Edgewater would have been penalized pretty hard. Whatever Eugene was worth as an asset, we would have had to pay out of pocket to Spacer's Choice. Well, excuse you. I'll have you know, Eugene was an asset to us all. May his atoms be commended to the law. All I know is Silas asked me for Eugene's gravesite fees, which means he was approved for burial, which means his papers went through, which means the town's in the clear. I'm just glad to put this whole ugly affair behind me. Eugene can rest his bones in peace, and the rest of us can get on.
Okay. Kis sárkánycuccok. Kereskedő, remek. Egyre maradunk ennél.
The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me.
Az volt, hogy
Pan's bust open in the oven because we set to cook saltuna, which isn't what we've got. Mr. Thompson? There's someone here to see you.
Focus, Miss Holcomb. You and I are still talking. Let's start over. Walk me through the process. Show me where it... Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Shirt, pants, work boots, company-approved colors. The, honorable apparel of a loyal worker? Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seats.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. Oh, yes. Saw someone put his hands on a regulator while the power was running. His legs were still twitching when we buried him. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but the people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came. Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership. That is not a hypothetical I enjoy entertaining. We need Adelaide back. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions...
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is... You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so...
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask.
Na remek, van egy társunk.
On my way. Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to... It's just... Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but... To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. Life's hard here. Especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is. About if what Mr. Thompson proposes to do is upright. Leaving Miss McDevitt's folk to their fate. Their name, and maybe he can think of something else to try. Something we ain't. He used to go walking outside town. It's just an idea. The mission's on the east side of town. You can't miss it. On account of it being the only clean thing. Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
I'm sorry. I'll just be a minute.
You had a minute. Next one comes out of your pay.
Ease off the threats, friend. I'm going.
Boss's orders. We all got quotas to make.
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto, at your service. Or Vicar Max, if you're the sort who prefers brevity. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar de Soto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling? This season's tossball predictions?
What? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk. They rejected the order of society and live beyond the walls so thoughtfully provided by our Spacer's Choice patrons. Does that strike you as a responsible life choice? Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold. Not if things are left to stand as they are. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your... One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library, and my retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I just want to keep the writing out of layman's hands. It wouldn't do for such... It's a handwritten journal, a faded blue cover with the name M. Bakonu handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. It is not only a beautiful relic of a bygone time, it's also the thoughts of an early thinker on the nature of man's place in the cosmos. Not many in this colony could understand its true value, should they ever read it. Thank you. If you...
Óra meg. Mindegy, ide is kellett jönni.
When I was little, we'd get freighters in every Sunday noon. Now they only...
Thank the law. I've been requisitioning backup for months. Guess the boss... You ever swung a truncheon? Let me see your rifling stance. I told Silas I'd pay my dues if he agreed to join the resistance. Guess this means he's finally heard the calling. The war. The coming apocalypse. Man versus machine. I'm talking about mechanical soldier. Cold. Just my luck. I ask for backup and the boss sends me one of them simple folk. auto-mechanicals. Creatures forged in the fires of malevolence. I seen them over by the old power plant, clattering about, firing at the birds, orchestrating their uprising. When the swarms of mechanicals come clanging on over that hill, where will you be? Cowering beneath your cot? Or standing shoulder to shoulder with the resistance? I've been gathering up a war chest over the years. Saw tuna cans mostly, some Spacer's Chaw, few bit cards. Enlistment fees. Yeah, I suppose. They have sent a scout prowling around. The scout must not be permitted to return to its base of operations. Cross it off. Mechanicals got a weak spot in their midsections. I think the technical term is, the blue glowy square thing.
Okay.
Go on. I'm Ludwig Miller, Associate Security Officer for Transportation. Unofficially, strictly between you and me, I am the only thing standing between Edgewater and total annihilation.
Wow.
Not a peep for me.
Ó. Ezek agresszívak? Oh shit. Oké, most már a madarak is megtámadnak minket. Tökéletes. Hey.
Aw, he ain't no threat. Bet I could fix him up smart.
Searching for repair bay. Error.
I could probably fix that. I mean, if you want. Yep, I see the problem. His nav mod got dislodged. Must have taken a tumble. Just gotta give it a good push and wait for the click. There we go. Jeremy's good as new. Well, new by Spacer's Choice standards anyhow. His name's Jeremy, by the by.
Navigation systems operational. Optimal path toward repair bay detected. Initiating self-diagnostics.
On account of I fixed him. And he's Jeremy on account of his helmet. It's like Jeremy, the officer in True Romantic Tales of the Space Guard. Surely. I make a point to watch every Tuesday night. Be more careful.
Self-diagnostics initiated. Please do not disturb.
Okay.
Bring us honor, soldier. You beat that scout to scrap with its own legs? Pulled its op... You're a passing fair soldier, I will confess. But you are one, and the enemy is legion. What you need? Cantina, lavatory, behind one of the toilets. That's where I've kept it hidden all these years. Sharp, ain't it? The lavatory's the... On the double, soldier.
You're not a big drinker, are you?
We can have another. The zero G.
Bring us honor, soldier. Feast your eyes, soldier. This here's a genuine Spacer's Choice injury customizing unit, designed to deliver a lethal blast of electrical discharge. I call it the Hand of the Law. You ever want to see a mechanical flailing around like a grounded fish? You stick a couple thousand volts in its guts. With compliments from old... There's a workbench right through this door. Attach that unit. Time's come for you to journey down into the black heart of the enemy's camp. I'm talking about the old geothermal plant. Unfortunately, the old plant lies outside my board-given job. I've been after a passcode for years. Boss said no on account of my gross incompetence with all matters. I need you to get us the brain of a mechanical. Well, not exactly a brain. Don't tell anyone, all right? I've got a contact. A real... Well, excuse me. What I meant was I'm going to get a contact. Didn't know I had to be all... If you die horribly, I will pour out a can of zero G to you.
Oh. Most ez most nincsen meg, vagy mi van? Ow, 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 ow. Okay. Cool.
That was quick.
Viszünk mindent.
Let's go! wanted to poke around in here.
Investigate.
Here they come! Armor's too strong! Hit it with something else! Down they go!
Jason, you hit.
Not working!
Olyan már meg! Fuck.
Mr. Thompson said to talk with Miss McDevitt before doing anything here?
Oh. Hogy talán itt valaki élült egyáltalán.
Great work!
Mhm. Okay.
Processing beginning. system. Sweeping the area.
Here they come! No messes.
Oh, searching.
Here they come!
Reality now be different.
Got 'em all!
Get away! You're not real. You're not real. Go away, Phantom. You're not real. You're not real.
Hol van?
You're not real. You're not real.
Lejjebb.
No, no, no. Just leave me alone.
Na szia.
You're not real. You're not real. Get away from me, Phantom. Shoot. Scram. You can talk? The Phantom's never talked before. See? See, Higgins? This is why you must always... Of course. Do excuse me. I experience brief flashes of mania during which I am visited by the phantoms of my imagination. Chester D. Higgins. The D stands for definitely not insane. I use it as a reminder.
Lassan menjünk el innen.
Hard to say. By my reckoning, Higgins has been here somewhere between 2 weeks and forever. My recollection's a touch fuzzy these days. Oh, Higgins has been many things over the years. Sprat Wrangler, Saltuna critic, Aetherwave personality, chairman of the board, galactic defender, Sisty Pig tycoon. I've come a long way for someone who started off as a simple engineer right here in this plant. I specialized in automechanicals, drones, sentries, repaired them, maintained, upgraded. Look, I don't want to fall into any trouble with the mechanicals. If they wise up to our plans, they will come for us. You know, you remind me of myself back when I was an intern. I discovered a flaw. Their hostility. Yes, that's exactly it. I see you're... There's a behavior control terminal in the other room. It should have options to change how the mechanicals act. Oh, that reminds me. You'll need my passcode to access the behavior control terminal. Here. Funny thing, I was working on a logic module just before the mayhem started. The tail. Definitely start with the tail. If you're feeling adventurous, the ears are... Jimmy'd opened the vending machines. That lasted a good couple of months. Eventually, I had to resort to more unconventional means of filling. Mechanicals lost their bolts. Opened fire on... I was on cleaning duty at the time. My old boss had me scrubbing pipes when the killing started.
Oké, akkor most ki tudjuk nyitni az ajtót. Akkor oda-vissza. Oh, Jeremy.
Self-diagnostics complete. Navigation systems, it's not the best choice. It's the Spacer's choice. Hostile actions towards Spacer's choice mechanics are contrary to logical direct in compliance with Spacer's choice policy. All defective. Affirmative. Mechanicide protocols loaded.
Nem tudom, hogy ezt meg szabadott volna elnyomnom.
system. Begin.
Everyone all right?
Move along, stranger. We don't want any trouble. I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along. Answers, huh? You must... Yeah, that's us. And you can tell Top if you're gonna start wandering around my camp. Over in the hothouse. Enough with the questions. Explains why you're still... No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. Just up and vanished without a trace. It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she can't imagine where she's gone. I'll tell you... Vex me. If she told anybody, they ain't telling me. I'd check her room, but I got yelled at for snooping once already. Little ways ago. She was always obsessing over her serial dramas. Wanted... Could be. Dangers aplenty out there. No telling why marauders would steal somebody like Zoe. Got no useful skill as far as I could tell. Marauder gang just moved into the districts a little ways east. Their numbers are growing. Gotta come from somewhere. Well, enough to know we never got on. Zoe and Stefan were close. If anybody knows the workings of her mind, he does. She was lazy and thoughtless. What is it?
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll... Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed. I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks... Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it. No, dear. The garden belongs to us all. Life... The soil around the Vale went sour years ago. The secret recipe is a little bit of elbow grease, a dash of love, and a heaping pile of special fertilizer. A home for anyone who's ever turned their backs on Edgewater. A home for those of us with nowhere left to go, and nothing. So like the spores of the puffball, cast on the wind and alighting on fresh soil. It is an unpleasant story, dear. But the short of it is that sometimes one wakes up and realizes the place that was once her home for much of her life has changed. The home in which we spent our lives has left us behind, and so we must move on. Reed Thompson. Let's hear it. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves. He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans? Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip him out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do. You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scraps Spacer's Choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died of overwork. His heart gave out.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me all by his lonesome.
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them. Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives. I trust you will listen to your...
Oké, szóval van egy döntésünk, vagy Edgewaternek küldjük az áramot, vagy nekik küldjük az áramot. Természetesen mind a kettőre valami hatása lesz. Menjünk vissza az erőműhöz.
aim, you're liable to get scalded. Got it. Heads down.
Processing. Performing an error.
Here we go!
Nah. E?
Where'd they go? If we send the power to Miss McDevitt, what happens to the whale?
Process.
Don't mess with us. That's the last. Once we do this, there's no going back. Hey, mister? Look, I know you want your power regulator and all. Do you understand? I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough, but the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living. That sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all... In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's choice. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back... Miss McDevitt's built something beautiful. Somehow, she's talked the ground into... It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. Fed the hungry, tended the... But Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering. She wants to hurt the town. Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. Really? I mean...
Inkább a botanikus körnek. Működött.
You hear that? That low, pleasant hum of electricity? I would have paid my last 5 bits to see the look on Reed's face when the last lamp in town burnt out, and... Time's come to look toward the future. We'll grow, I expect. I don't look forward to turning folk away. Camp's gotta stay pure, though. Can't have corporate loyalty. I am curious. Why did you help us? You don't know who we are. You don't owe us a thing. The plant's crawling with mechanicals. You're not quite like anyone else I've met. You're welcome among us.
Keep your wits about you, friend. Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
Oh, didn't see you there. I was, well, I was just occupied. Whoa, Miss Parvati.
Are you, are things safe out here?
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like you. Only I'm not so...
Oh gosh, no, I'm...
Are you from town? I mean... Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town or if you were one of us. Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody. I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of 3. If I had my hands on one of those data pads...
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with him when he was working.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. No kidding! Ain't that just ironical? If I'd worked a little longer back at the camp, In fact, I put aside some... Well, don't keep me... The geothermal plant? Now that is just incredible! You really went 2 whole data pads? Be still my beating heart. Sure.
Okay. Kell lennie valaminek, mint egy ilyen leírásnak. Hol lehet?
Easy.
Válom. Hol itt fent? Megvan. Au. Jó, ezt addig iratot, és akkor visszaviszem. Ott van egy workbench is. Akkor megsavadjuk a cuccaimat. Ne, tényleg, ott pont előtte volt, és nem jutottam meg semmi volt, és remek.
Any luck finding one of those manuals? No kid. Look at that! Building a computing machine out of Spectrum potatoes, a primer. That's a complete set. All aside from you.
I'm glad we could help, Thomas.
I've been saving something for you. Just a little contraption I found. Should fit right into your outfit. What's up? Couple months. This camp's my home. People, I owe them my life. Would have died in the wilderness. We all left the cannery for one reason or another. I mean, I was incompetent. I couldn't even survive on my own. Grace found me, Adelaide took me in,
You weren't incompetent. You just didn't fit the cannery. Not like here. This place had a U-shaped hole and...
You could stay, you know. Here. I'd be happy to... I mean,
És javítsuk meg is a dolgokat. Vártam volna, hogy fel fog robbanni.
Nice.
Mi van erre? Hey, mi folyik itt?
I put my whole life in that cannery. You must
Ja,
be
igen,
very
lekapcsoltuk az
proud.
áramot.
Oh, it's you. Reed told me I should be expecting. Anthracillin, huh? I appreciate your vigilance on behalf of Spacer's Choice. Your compensation and your receipt. Spacer's Choice wishes you a...
All the lights in town went out. Since then, I've had wild-eyed workers begging. I'm surprised you would go.
I'm not sure what the right and wrong of it is, sir. But leaving the deserters with neither walls nor lights would have left them to...
Let's hope. Oh, inarguably. This town was a pustule on the ass of the architect. You took it upon yourself to decide the fate of strangers. I don't know what... Wonderful. This is fantastic. What the fuck is this? Is this... French? I can't fucking read French. It's a law-forsaken joke is what it is. French. Ha! I was so high and mighty, preaching to the yokel. There is little more important than such a I've spent my life searching for the keys to unlocking the secrets of the universal equation that underlies the plan. I had hoped... I became so desperate, I even got myself assigned to this plague-ridden backwater to find the damn thing. Bakonu, the author, had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher. Unfortunately, he was also one of the founders of the Philosophist school of thought, so the book is banned in this country. Please. please. As if my life should have no greater meaning than Nothing could be more excruciating than discussing the true nature of reality with people who have no interest beyond their next Aetherwave program. But that's neither here nor there. What I need to do now is to find a translator, obviously. But you have a ship. Perhaps I... Certainly. I already gave you most of my money, but I can offer you... I'm pretty handy with a tossball stick, or any blunt instrument, really. I'm also a passable gun hand, if it comes to that. I can usually talk my way out of conflict. Oh, I'm fairly... Well, understanding computers is, though I admit I took it further than most. And I was quite the 32nd back during my seminary days. Left many an opponent bleeding on the... Of course. I'm a vicar who is dedicated to his calling. More dedicated than any other. But instead, I ended up the vicar in a prison due to ignorance and politics. Fantastic.
Edgewater's gonna miss you.
Thank you, Ms. Holcomb. I'll be glad. I shall see you on the ship, Captain, whenever you're ready to...
Na, szóval eddig van egy mérnökünk, egy papunk, aki tud programozni. Egy várost tönkretettünk. Húsnap.
Maybe Adelaide was right to leave.
Desertion is a criminal offense.
You picked a fine time to... I paid his burial... Didn't anyone ever tell you not to go rifling? Excuse you. Never mind. I don't have to...
You want to know what gets my bile churning? Edgewater has suffered a cavalcade of disasters. Plague, marauders, desertion. Then I never knew how right I was. Is that right? I'm dying to... Liberating? Edgewater is my home. The only home I've ever had. I put down roots here, gave decades of my life to this place. I never asked. Whatever you were hoping to find down here, I advise you to turn around and leave. I have got Edgewater's dead. Our cannery's dead. Adelaide's deserters are never coming back. Spacer's Choice will shut us down before long. Some of us will die of illness by then. And as for me, I will tender my resignation, whereupon I shall be processed. Apologies won't give us our lives. All right, easy now. Let's not do anything. I'll order my guards to stand down.
De van aki olyan, hogy Edgewater kb. Így a játék egyik trailerében is így benne volt simán. Nem tudom, hogy játék elején már tönkretettük a várost, azért sokat elmond. Nem tudom, mi van?
You and I have got nothing more to say.
Ja, volt egy jelentésünk, vagy tönkreteszünk egy lélektelen várost, vagy elpusztítottunk egy lélekkelteli, bár elég dühös tábort. Ártatatlanokkal teli. Nem tudom most, mi van?
Hey, Miss Parvati. Come for a visit?
Not today. Just helping this
Lovely to see you about.
Things going all right?
Been keeping him careful and true. Best to ask her.
My dad's buried here. Silas watched. Oh,
Something? You run into it? Conrad's barbershop is a yawning pit that swallows his every bit. I keep telling him he should cut a few corners. Skip, you gotta put the squeeze on Conrad. Find some... That's the word, extortion.
Ezzel most egyre nem foglalkozunk. Jönünk vissza a hajóhoz. Loggolnék, annak is örülnék. Ow.
we can handle this. Nice one. Got him all. Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome. Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship, working on a real engine. Edgewater won't last another season without power, but that don't change the fact that I'm indentured to Spacer's Choice. I have imagined it, but I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves for my catalyzers, and I can... And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can... I know. Mr. Thompson said I was to chaperone you about the Veil. Loan me out to you like I was Spacer's Choice property. Yeah, Mr. Thompson's got a temper. Yes! I mean, thanks. Captain. I can call you Captain now. Ha! I got a captain.
Well, I certainly am looking forward to flying on a ship named the Unreliable. I'll just head upstairs and claim a room.
Captain, I have detected that the town of Edgewater is now without power. I appreciate you doing your part to hasten their demise. What can I do for you, Captain? Do you know how to install a power... Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude for engineering will prove invaluable. Our engine room is located behind you.
Akkor javítsuk meg a hajtóműveket és elhagyhatjuk ezt a helyet.
What can I do for you, Captain? All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the Unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities. received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Ah, there you are. Hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any, unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you. Oh, that, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Kelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay. Strictly speaking, Monarch is a moon, terraformed badly, and almost completely... Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles the, navigation. Think of a nav key as a set of flight instructions. The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means of acquisition. Without a skip drive, good luck. You'll be dead before you... Look, I admire your optimism, but the sad truth is you're stuck here. You, me, and the rest of this colony. We're all skating precariously around the edge. None of us are leaving Halcyon alive, so we may as well make it a better place, and we can stop. Gladys and I have been doing business for years. Her smuggling credentials are unimpeachable. If anyone can get you a key to Monarch, it's her. In theory, I suppose you could land your ship in Cascadia. Cascadia is utterly seething with dangerous, highly aggressive creatures. You'd have to be a lunatic to land in Cascadia, and I'm reasonably certain I tested your brain for incipient signs of insanity. Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her... By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design, cutting-edge technology. I call it the holographic shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. Marvelous device. I'm quite proud of myself. The shroud changes the use. It has limits. First-generation technology, you see. But very simply, the holographic shroud uses biometric information contained on standard identity cartridges to generate a only stands up to a casual scrutiny. Use it too long, bound to flicker, blur, something like that. Movement makes it best used in moderation. When you see guards in your path you can't sneak past, for example. Maintain your distance. Act normal. No running, no jumping. Don't draw their attention. If they pay attention, they're more... Ha 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 ha! The beauty is they don't expect it. The shroud is the only one of its kind. We activate the disguise, walk past someone. What do they see? A figure dressed like a fellow employee. Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions... And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power. But the board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select... Just to warn you, we may have a bedbug infestation. I am investigating non-toxic extermination measures. Non-toxic to you, I mean.
Oh. Na, akkor most hol kell mennünk?
We've arrived at the groundbreaker.
Hey, Cap, can we talk? Hey, Captain? I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you can't. Thanks, Captain. Did you want to talk about... Captain. Hey, Captain. I'm in space. I never thought I'd be able to say that.
Just checking your ship's manifest. Standard procedure. Welcome to Groundbreaker, by the by. Don't mind the heat. Got a few days before it reaches critical. I'm sure Miss Chief Tennyson will get it sorted before then.
That's not the point. This halfwit just knocked out one of my workers.
Yeah, with a tossball stick. I heard you the first time.
Now's not a good time.
So, go space yourself. Problems.
You must really want it truncheon through your teeth. Do what you want.
Whatever you heard? The guy insulted my Rizzo's Rangers, alright? You can't just insult my... So, of course, I decked him with a tossball stick. I mean, what am I? Guy never liked me, always trying to get a rise out of me. But I keep my chin up, right? Be the bigger man, I tell myself. He's a Spacer's chosen man, though. So when the Chosen beat my Rangers the other night, my foreman comes swaggering up with his head... That's when I broadsided him with a tossball stick. Yeah. Look, this was a long time coming. Guy thinks he can push me around because he's some sky-high foreman, and I'm just a back bay's dock... Well, former dock worker. Enjoy my freedom. Scrounged together enough bits for a 0G. Other than that, hey, not for nothing. But I saw you wander out of that ship over there by the dock. Captain of the Unreliable. You're like something out of a serial drama. Hey, I don't want to talk your ears off, guessing you got placed. Felix Millstone. Please. See you around.
We move cargo 16 hours.
Customs and inspection, right this way.
Identification, please. Captain Hawthorne, you said. Let me apologize in advance. I'm about to ruin your day.
Cool.
According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it.
Aw.
But we've hardly been out of Edgewater long enough to get in trouble.
Well, isn't this wonderful? The captain's done something to get on the board's bad side.
Now, hold on. This isn't the end of the world. Probably. You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford, our board representative here on Groundbreaker. His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like a Byzantium commode. You can't... Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned down 3 promotions, so it stays that way. I shouldn't be mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, it doesn't happen much. The board knows we don't take... If I had to take a guess as to why, you must arrive... You take the starch out of them? Well... Oh, and if you're headed that way, would you mind doing me a favor? Wanda Dorset over in sickbay, tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it. A handful of SAM cleaning units retrofitted for surgery. I don't know much else. I stopped listening when she started... Is there anything else? Maybe. Most of the shipping traffic in the system passes through Groundbreaker. 2 biggest operations are the board. That is, Halcyon Holdings and Sublight Salvage. But they're independent. Most of those jobs are going to take you off station. Relative to the board holdings? Not really. But there's a few with the means to go where they will. They aren't rich, but they aren't likely to look too close at your work history either. Commandant Sanita might have a couple of folks she needs killed. Bad folks, I mean. Not Chief Junlei might have an errand needs running. She's all tied up trying to fix our heat problem.
No kidding? I'd love to get a look at this old girl's innards. I bet they're real twisty and weird.
Happy to help. That's my...
You're real...
Well, thank you, miss. It's nice...
Can we move this along? I have a certain,
Are you pulling my leg? You must be one of them long-haul freighters from outside the colony. Goes like this. Back on Earth, before the crossing, the powers that be were selling off stakes in distant star systems they thought had potential. A bunch of companies decided to throw in together and form the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, then buy up the rights to this here colony. That group's what we now call the Yep, Groundbreaker's the only real independent port. Aside from us, there's just tramp freighters and... Seems like every year the board's offices get bigger and their ships take up more of the landing bays. Haven't seen nearly as many tramp crews this year. Groundbreaker was one of the original colony vessels to come over on the crossing, a few years before her sister ship, the Hope. Once everybody'd been de-thawed and dropped dirt side, the original crew of the Groundbreaker decided they rather liked the spacefaring life. I guess that was the start of our independent spirit. Sitting around drinking whiskey and smoking cigars, yeah, probably. Can't say for sure, of course. Glad to help. They strip the parts from derelict ships and abandoned outposts. There's some that say they make the derelicts and encourage folk. Sublight gives me the creeps. They're on the promenade run by a woman named Lilia Hagen. I'm only... All right. The fence. You'll find her in the rest and go. On your left when you enter the... Make sure... He's friendly enough unless you speak ill of the board. Get the sense he doesn't care for ground... Not that he would, being a board man and all. He's our liaison. They can't abide an independent township, especially not one they gotta depend on. We're the first and last stop out of this country. All their interstellar freighters come through us, and we skim a few bits off the top in manifest processing fees with it. Folks around here will bluster that the board hates our freedom, but really, they know we can stop their out-system shipments anytime we like. It's a delicate balance, right? We could cancel their freighters' docking privileges and retaliate. They got assault cruisers, gunships, and a handful of mining operations that we push them too hard, maybe they decide we'd be better in 10 trillion little pieces. Or they cobble together a new groundbreaker and put us out of business.
The board wouldn't do that.
The board is necessary to provide order to the colony. They believe it's their prerogative to overrun you. But whether you allow that...
It's a tough line to walk, no doubt about that. But we make do all right. Sure thing. Most places are on the promenade deck. Big door yonder, straight through security. There's a bar on the star. I got a preference for the Lost Hope myself. Talk to Vera. You need anything else? You let me know. Don't want... Be seeing you.
Carry on.
Captain, I was hoping for a word. Captain, if I could trouble you for a moment of your time, while we're on the groundbreaker, I've been thinking on that. There's a former infamous philosopher scholar who fled Terra 2 some years ago. He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald Vale. If anyone in this colony could translate that book... That's a good question. Fortunately, we're in the perfect place to start. This is where I'd go if I wanted to get off Terra 2. Great place to pick up a ride to Hephaestus. All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. Their easily hackable system keeps a registry of all crew manifests for both arrival... I'll comb the last 6 months of departure manifests to track the Philosophists. Thank you. This is it. Security. I can check the departures registry to find out which crew the scholar shipped in and out with.
Unless you're here to file an incident report or to inquire about the bounty posting, I must kindly ask you to clear out. The Mardet's offices aren't for leisure time, nor... Got a hot one for you. Captain Gunnar McRed. Just 26 hours old. The post... Allegations include several counts of flying under the influence, carrying open alcoholic containers, failure to pay docking fees, resisting arrest, and assaulting not one, but... Swerving in the air was more like it. Then he crashed hard into the dock and tumbled out. Spilled Rizzo's Violet Spectrum vodka all over Officer Hartley. An affront of its own, considering none of us are approved for anything higher than... Last tip we got pointed toward the back bays. You want the reward? You and about 6 other enterprising mavericks. It's only a matter of time before someone brings me McRed's head. I do hope you're the lucky hunter, though. Good luck.
Good.
Try not to be distracted by the glare of the adverts. Lots of unsavory types about.
Rizzo's Knock You Out Bar. A CCN 76.
I'm not going anywhere, you hear?
Go back to Byzantium, you gold-plated bastards.
Yeah,
Have
no
you
one
seen
wants
this
you on
man?
grab.
Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Wells. Report any sightings to your local board embassy.
Hey, McRed, were you expecting any company?
A neighbor from above approaches our realm. Back away now, or you'll parley with the king. Look at this ripe piece of meat, you. Time to feed the flame.
Is this what carbon monoxide poisoning looks like? I don't think this deck is too well ventilated.
Speaking for myself, Captain, I am not a...
You came with the crew. Welcome. We got plenty. I know this ain't a toy, neighbor from above. It's a catalyst, just like...
Captain?
Oops. Ezt nem így terveztem. Megint várunk.
Hey, McRed, were you expecting any company?
A neighbor from above approaches our realm. Look...
Is this...
You can... Listen to the fire of those convicted. Alive or dead. Rare or medium. What's...
Incoming!
Na, ez már jobban sikerült. Oops.
Smells kind of like old Wes's outfit vibes.
Ja. Ennyi.
It's so... cozy.
everyone all right?
Nem hiszem, hogy meg kellett volna ölnünk.
Don't shoot! I'm with Junlei. Haven't seen any new faces down here since I arrived. Not sure how long ago that was. That's too bad. I mean, he was a scary fuck. I'll get back to my post.
Quietly now. Good, we're in. Can you imagine being frozen for 10 years, sailing through space in a room such as this?
My friends.
That's the last of them.
Pasta. You've been...
Here we go!
Down they go!
Ne szarok, az be tudtam volna ütni.
This is those XF411s? And an old Yakita 3.7? You think they'd let me peek at the...
Thought there'd be more machinery. Must be housed on a sub-level.
Junlei Tennyson. I'm captain around here, but chief to my friends. Hope you don't mind the formal introduction. Groundbreaker doesn't see many visitors. I heard we had someone in impound. Wish I could help. I gave the bureaucrats a motive authority over freight traffic, and it rankles them good when I challenge it. Just so we understand each other, I'm the final word on the ship. The Mardets, the crew, the engineers, their family. I hope there won't be any problems while you're visiting. Good. Don't go making trouble, and So what brings you to Groundbreaker? I'm curious. Interesting. The powers that be paint an ugly picture of Monarch. Critters and such. Maybe someone in the promenade can get you the right weapon. We see a lot of the same faces coming and going. Most of them board spies and corporate sprats. Makes it hard to trust outsiders.
What? I didn't think you just...
Parvati, is it? That's a lovely...
I was just thinking, I haven't got much experience working with actual, real spaceships, Miss June.
Junlei is fine.
Force of habit, I guess. Okay. Since you run a whole space station, I was wondering if...
I'd be happy to make the time, Parvati.
Right. Wow, great. I'll do that then. Messages. Later. Couldn't have done it without your morals.
Now, if there's nothing else, there are other parts of the ship begging. Groundbreaker's radiators need replacement parts. They're dumping superheated air into my ship. Only the board has access to new parts. None. Every time I give in to the board, Groundbreaker loses its freedom. Soon there won't be anything left. The board isn't helping and my resources are spread thin. If I don't get those radiators back online, Groundbreaker... Reasonable, huh? According to my grandmother's old schematics, the parts we need should be in the back bay. Then you know it's a den of criminals and miscreants. Good. Once you've obtained the parts, we can...
Menjünk vissza.
Leia's gonna be pleased as pie when we show her these.
Üdv.
You've returned, and in one piece. Color me impressed. Good work. I'll take those. I need you to head through the large door at the far end of engineering. Take the elevator down into the machinery. There's a terminal in the back. Activate it when I call over the ship's PA. And bring weapons. There's a slight mantipillar infestation. More than a few. Less than a hive. Nothing you can't handle. We were salvaging parts from a ship. Turned out there were eggs inside. They got...
Don't worry, Miss Junlei. We'll be super gentle with the ship. You don't got a thing to worry about.
I'm genuinely heartened to hear that.
Controls are in the back of the machinery ship.
We've got a rig on it.
Not even a scratch.
Some helped me the security mechanicals booted up and killed a bunch of mantis. Bad news. Diagnostic says their circuit boards are fused from the heat, so they're not too picky about who they kill next. Sneak past if you can. Shoot back if you need to. I can always fix them later.
Alert. Security patrol initiated.
Oh, good. A fight.
You guys all right?
Rose performing.
Incoming.
Can't get past that armor. Nice hit.
Done. The temperatures are dropping. Stop by once you found your way out of there. Groundbreaker owes you thanks.
As always, I am at your disposal. Anything you'd like to...
My boards are returning to green. What a weight that is off my shoulders. I don't normally tolerate outsiders mucking about in my station. The temperature should be dropping as we speak. I'll see to it the crew knows who kept us all from boiling alive. If you've got time, I believe Edna has a comms issue that could use your attention. I've also authorized Frustrating. Plus, there's no time to train my successor or document fixes in a way that anyone outside the family would understand. Sure is. The Tennysons came over on the Groundbreaker. My grandmother, Chief Gaying, kept it together during the crossing and until she died. I was promoted only recently, when my mom died.
They must have been amazing people to have taught you all you know.
That means a lot coming from a... It was different knowing that I couldn't turn to anyone who could answer the tough questions for... Maybe you can see why I'm protective of Groundbreaker. This ship is family. It's got
Oh, gosh. I don't know.
Don't sell yourself short. It doesn't take a seasoned pro to tinker on Groundbreaker. Just someone who knows how a ship ought to feel. We're always thirsting for help. If you could find your way around this labyrinth of ducts and panels, we could work something out. You see any bite-sized Tennyson children running around? The next captain won't have my heritage. I'll have to foster that talent from somewhere. It's only a question of when. You've got my...
You aiming to send a message? If so, we best do it now while we still got time. Me? No. But our relaying capability? We're going offline in 3, 2, 1.5... No. Wait, I've lost track of my weeks. Maybe... Our primary relay station's soon to be occluded by a gas giant. Happens every 40 years or thereabouts. The event's forecasted to last for months, during which we'll lose signal to...
That'll put the whole system in a right dire situation.
We've got backup auxiliary relays, but the one currently in orbital range went offline some months ago. We can't spare people for routine Yeah, I'm working on it. I finally got the chief to approve the budget, but allocating the personnel loss for sending a technical team to the relay station keeps getting denied by June. I should say no, but why not? Maybe you can figure out why it's offline. I'll send you with an equipment manual. Hopefully we'll get lucky.
Hope you don't mind if I borrow that manual when you're done with it, Captain. I could do with some leisure reading.
Oh, and I'll need you to retrieve a copy of the relay's backup data. I gotta forward any messages from Earth stored in the memory. Better late than never. It's not like they're in high demand. Most tend to be adverts on new products, meaning only folks in Byzantium can afford. I'm sure the station's got a stack of junk messages just waiting for me.
Hearty greeting, potential customer. Welcome to Auntie's Kitchen, a home-style consumable protein. This unit dispense protein. Adjusting units, audio receiver input levels for more suitable engagement with customer. This unit is programmed to simulate shock. Shock simulation non-functional. Shock simulation restored. Initiating shock subroutine. How dare you? Shock subroutine complete. Estimated guilt level of customer increased by 35%. Resuming protein dispensing. This unit dispense. Beginning dispensing sequence. Please unblock all relevant facial.
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Wells. Report any sightings to your... Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Wells.
Ah, the board. Organized, efficient, competent. Well, mostly.
I think everything in here is worth more than I made in my whole life.
Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were coming. You must be the captain of the Unreliable, a vessel that used to be helmed by one Alex Hawthorne. And you are not he. Has something happened? Oh no, this is terrible. My dear friend, what devilry is this? Oh, Alex. He was my dearest friend. You have his ship, you must know. That picture of us on the promenade, me hugging him, him wincing. I keep a copy beside my... Ah, that's just like him. Such a sentimental man. Tell me. Oh, awful business that. But why? How? No. Best not to ask after the gory detail. Right. You're going important places, I'm sure. There, I've removed the flag from your ship. I'm terribly sorry for the... Alex promised to tell me the location of Phineas Wells. I'm sure you've seen his wanted posters all over the colony. You haven't read the posters? He's a terrorist, a thief, That's... Well, that's just... Oh, I'm sorry. This is terribly unprofessional. It's personal business, I'm afraid. Information on the whereabouts of Phineas Wells would go a long way. It's fine. Really, it's perfectly fine. Now, if you've nothing else, please see yourself out. I'd like to drown myself in work. Be my...
Good law! Who'd want to go to that? No. Emphatically no. Unequivocally no. Immutably no. Best to be clear. You refer to the radiator issue? Oh, goodness, it was... Chief Tennyson certainly did take her... I owe you a debt, then. I was going through 3-4 shirts a day. Still, deplorable conduct. My superiors will be hearing...
She did everything she could. It was...
Oh, sweetie. I don't owe a grease-stained wrench jockey like her the time of day. I'm sorry, my temper got away from me. Please accept my sincerest apologies to you.
Oh, I'm not used to folks saying sorry. It's not...
Well, now that that's dealt with, was there anything... A luxury stateroom, reserved for Chairman Rockwell's use. Oh, good law, of course not. As this office is the primary embassy for the board on Groundbreaker, corporate bylaws specifically state a room must be maintained. I'm the certified representative of the board's interests here on the Groundbreaker. Better that than moving crates in the cargo bay. Oh, you've noticed my friends. What? They're here to keep the peace. Precisely. Groundbreaker makes much ado about its independent status and so resents any board presence, no matter how benign. When the alternative is board guards at their gates, yes, I do. They don't see it that. Ask.
Something about being in space gives me the creeps.
C&P near maple syrup. It's near this complete breakfast.
Sublight Salvage. Their front looks surprisingly on the up and up.
You ready?
Sublight for life. The corporations never lifted a finger for me.
C&P Borstwurst. It's not the worst unless it's forced worst.
At least the heat's still with.
If it wasn't for us, this whole damn station would shut down.
You know that sound when you've snapped on an injector clip? I got a full line of weapon modifications I...
Oh.
It just me, or has it been deader than usual around here?
Is it just me, or is Groundbreaker feeling extra chilly? Oh, and it's not the best choice, it's Spacer's choice. A lot of slogans to keep track of. Heard of it? My orientation Aetherwave showed that famous Saltuna cannery.
If you did, that'd be good, actually.
And if you do, please don't mention us.
I'd have to go over my contract, but I don't think I'm allowed to leave ground. So, what can I get you? Some soap? Everyone loves soap. Everyone will... I'm bound to satisfy headgear-related inquiries. Please send any complaints to our... Oh, I'm having a stellar day. Not just because I'm legally obligated to say so. Almost as stellar as space... I can see all of the top-quality merchandise in the Spacer's Choice catalog. Spacer's Choice regrets that we don't sell toothpaste at this time, but we're all... Sprout Wash, Mouthwash, and Mantafloss are among the exciting line of dental goods currently in development. You would never ask if you knew what it's like in... I mean, why, anyone can be a Spacer's Choice Consumer Relations Choice Specialist. Don't miss out on these deals. You'll find none like them on all... Trouble sleeping? Try our Lunar Eclipse Mix. That's 2 handfuls of pep pills washed down with a hearty swig. The blast will send you through the stratosphere and the... Add an additional 10% to your purchase today, and the proceeds will be donated to Spacer Cares, our premier at Spacer's Choice. Even if my contract didn't forbid it, I think, now, are you ready to make Spacer's Choice Lunar Green Moonmouth lozenges a part of you? Damn it. No slogan for that one. Look, this hat, my job. If there are self-made purgatories, then we all have to live in them. Now, if we're done with the chit-chat, I hope you don't mind if I make the It's fine. I should... speaking of interest, can I interest you in some... have a look.
Oh.
If it's between the unreliable and the rest and go, I believe I'll sleep on the ship.
Bless my heart. A stranger come knocking on a poor old woman's door. You here for a particular reason? Or did the neighbors tell you how good my sugar cookies are? Made without a single natural ingredient, or an oven. Just like store-bought. Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You and I could be thrown... Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. We're outside of the board's control. Now, I only have the one nav key. And they're hard to come by these days. It won't be cheap. If you find yourself
Azt kurva, 10 000?
Phineas, that old kook. He was quite the dancer back in his prime, did he tell you? Real light in the wallet, too. He still owes me a small fortune. Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Might be this could help out the Groundbreaker, as well as earn some... Do you know Edna, over in engineering? Sweet as a pea, that one. She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. And Auntie Cleo abandoned that place years ago. Can't say I know for sure.
Sounds like someone poking into somewhere they shouldn't be.
Comm centers don't operate themselves, Captain. Someone
Those corps are cleverer than all get out. Might have been a ruse to keep... You've got an ear for intrigue and a nose for bits. I like that. If you should... The more we got the corps fighting each other. Don't forget to come find old Gladys when you're done. I've got a lovely little throw pillow. Just something I tossed together.
Okay, oh, ez erős. Nézzük, adjunk neki dolgot. Nem kell. Oké. Oh. Érdekes. Oké. Azt akkor meg is veszük. Gyönyörű.
How do you do? And welcome to the Rest and Go. We used to be the Go and Rest, but folks never knew when to leave. Of course. Of course.
Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Remember Auntie Cleo? Because she remembers you. When you were sick, who took your temperature? When you were hungry, who gave you
A new face. I hear
Rizzo's Purpleberry Fudge. Soft, sour, candy shell, aroma.
This is the simple truth. We are all molecular machines.
How goes the hunt? I've been ruminating on it, and I decided... Nothing excessive, mind you, but the scoundrel... I believe I'm growing fond of you, bounty hunter. If you got the Mardet... Here's the bounty payout. Nice work down there. With any luck, we can hire more sharp-eyed bounty hunters. With that bastard McRed dead, there ain't much... Do I look like you're... I'm not here for a chat. Nothing at the moment. We're the security force here on Groundbreaker. The original force was made up of a Marine detachment from the 77th Marine Expeditionary Unit, Trailward Fleet. Folks started calling us Mardets because it was easier to say.
Hey, be careful with those crates, huh? My cargo's worth a lot of money.
Hey, you got a second? Fancy running into you again. Don't mind me. It's just admiring your ship from up close. Gotta hand it to you, boss. That's a fine-looking ship. Only thing it's missing is me. Yes, I absolutely am. Just give me a shot. That's all I'm asking. I could be the best damn crew you... Sure, an interview. That sounds fair. I mean, first time for everything, right? Are you kidding? You can count on me in a scrap, boss. It's delicious. Mock apple pie and a tripicale crust? Maybe with a little...
Tökéletesen végül.
Wow. You don't know how long I've been waiting to hear that. Thanks, boss. I'll just gather my personals and meet you on board.
Really? We're picking up straight?
Look at that. A real vicar.
I'll admit, the station's in better shape than I expected it to be.
Captain, this place is supposed to be empty, yeah? 'Cause I got the queerest feeling.
Komoly.
Everyone all right?
Ah, your face is a sight for sore ocular processors, Captain. Or rather, your headgear is. The Groundbreaker has approved our request for docking, Captain. You're free to disembark.
lights off? There are people unloading a ship.
Probably another sublight con.
Rizzo Spectrum Vodka. Aftertaste the rainbow. Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Wells. Report any sightings to your local board embassy.
You look like someone who's taken their share of cuts and bruises. Need some armor? Maybe it's a bit secondhand, but that's only testament to its... We also have a line of specialized melee weapons. For those times you have to repel boarders but don't want to risk a bullet.
I seen June.
My comm center already got an update ping from the backup relay. I trust everything. Thanks. That's all. Looking at the transmission logs, the relay hasn't received a single unencrypted message in the past 36 months. Must be on account of some new security red tape. Well, whatever's the cause, the board and the Earth Minister will see it. Thanks again for saving my derriere. I secured quite the payment authorization for you from Chief Junlei.
Na, cool.
Speak your mind.
CNP Borsted Baked Beans. When you need to eat and run, Borsted Baked Beans is
I'm
the
not
only
going
one.
anywhere, you hear? You can't keep me out of there.
Please don't make a scene, Dr. Fenhill.
I am not making a scene.
Hello. Junlei called up from engineering. Said I should let you buy medical supplies from our stores. Now, is there something I can help you with? A better selection than you'll find on the promenade deck. And a...
I'm sorry. See, Umfuru? We could have avoided all this unpleasantness if you just let me Let me get one thing straight. Jessie and I are not friends. I just owe her. As for the rest, I'm trying to figure that out. All I know is that she's been here too long, and she's apparently not receiving visitors. Be my guest, if you know something I don't about dealing with hospital bureaucracy.
What seems... If only my other patients had so many inquiring after. The records say Miss Doyle checked herself in and requested I admit no visitors. Requests of our She's not my patient. I'm certain no one on my staff would falsify patient records, if that's what you're... Take...
Can't say I've seen you before. If you're here to better yourself, you'll have to wait. We're having a spot. He must be referring to Irion. I'm sure... I'm beginning to wonder if I'm ever gonna get my service mechanicals at this rate. I'd be grateful if you'd spare the time. We need his delivery soon as yesterday. Last he told me, he was taking a shortcut by Scylla, an asteroid in the Charybdis cluster. That's where I'd start, were I the adventuring. You look out, though. The place is probably crawling with outlaws. Good luck getting to Jesse.
Rizzo's Lemon Slap. Slap your whole family tonight.
You see we had a conveyor puller?
I believe I hear Felix and Parvati discussing the latest Aetherwave serial. Destination reached. Scylla.
This is real space, isn't it? Empty, silent. I never thought I'd see the like. I'd look up at night, but...
Can't walk 5 meters without stubbing your toe in a loose rock here.
didn't have to shoot me down. Tremendous work, friend. Here I was readying a daring maneuver, and you've come and saved me the trouble.
Symptoms detected. Elevated heart rate. Dilated pupils. Increase.
I'm not terrified, you bucket of bolts. That's victory sweat. Though, wait, who's asking? Wanda didn't send you. I swear, land on Groundbreaker even a moment tardy, and that busybody's already been up your ass and out. You tell her these automechs are coming, and sending a hired stooge to rescue me from certain peril only furthers my delay. Magnificent. And
Na, egyre menjünk innen. Oh. Remek, már majdnem 4 órája játszok ezzel a játékkal.
Captain, Felix and the Vicar are arguing again.
Since when?
Since the Rangers decided their 8th back should stay in the Wednesday zone. Come on, Felix. The Rangers threw that game.
Were we listening to the same game? The Rangers were Good to see you, boss.
What are we...
We've arrived at the groundbreaker.
Na, ennyi elég volt. Kicsit mára. Talán majd később folytatom. Biztos, hogy holnap lesz még folytatás. Addig is sziasztok.